What up, guys?
What up, bro?
What?
Big dog Casper. I want to go ahead and introduce Casper to the show, man.
What's up, fellas? Man, it's been a while, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
been
been
a
a while.
while. Go ahead and tell the people what's your name, where you from.
I'm Casper. I am from Riverside, California, and did about 15 years in prison, and I'm all good now. I actually just beat a federal case a couple days ago. I'm stoked.
Yo,
So-
that is insane that you beat a federal case, bro. That is insane. Those are the hardest cases to beat.
Man,
Bro.
I'm telling you. So the judge I went in front of, she was appointed by Biden Harris. You know what I mean? But she listened to everything I had to say. I mean, probably the best judge I've ever been in front of in my life. And she was like, "Yeah, these guys are full of shit," and dismissed the case. And I mean,
That's what's up,
hooked me
dude.
up. So
I'm fucking stoked about that. That's what's up.
yeah, that's right.
So before we get back into the Wade Wilson phone call, Chad, I want you to double tap that screen. Give a shout out to Casper, man. If they don't know where to find you, Casper, where can they find you?
At American U on YouTube. So
just
that, yeah, just the at American U.
For sure. And
yeah.
I want to introduce you to Wade. So because I from what we know, you know one of the Menendez brothers, correct?
I do. I did time with Lyle back in 1997, 98 on the Tehachapi 4B yard in California. Yeah.
That's insane.
He's my neighbor.
That's insane because the Menendez brothers are now making headlines everywhere. You have celebrities that are calling for their release. You have activist groups that are calling for their release. You have a lot of people supporting them right now. And it's wild to just be talking to somebody that actually knew one of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it wasn't really, I mean, at the time when I met him, it wasn't like I wasn't starstruck or anything like that. I was dealing with my own shit, you know. But I've carried on conversations with him on multiple occasions, probably 3 times though, the deepest conversations. And he was pretty down to earth dude, man. I didn't see killer in him, you know. A lot of people are saying they're cold-blooded killers, but I lived with cold-blooded killers like my cellies, everybody. You know, you can tell when someone's a cold-blooded killer, and I just didn't get that vibe from him.
That's what's up.
You
So
know.
we're gonna before we get into the Menendez brothers, because we're definitely gonna get into them today. We're gonna go ahead and play a 4-minute video, and it's basically just the basis on Wade Wilson, so you can get a little background story, and also there's a couple people in the chat that really that know what's going on, and then there's some people I've seen in the chat today that don't really know what's going on. So we're gonna play a little 4-minute video to give you a synopsis on the Wade Wilson. I do want to give a shout out to this channel. It is a smaller channel. So y'all make sure y'all go run them likes up for them and tell them Pino sent you. The channel's called True Crime Summarized. They only have 1,000 subscribers, and this video actually only has 10 likes. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. I'll be the 11th like. Y'all follow suit, and let's get into this little 5-minute video.
Cape Coral, Florida. A quiet suburban community was shaken to its core in 2019 when a series of brutal murders exposed the dark depths of one man's mind. Wade Wilson, a man who seemed destined for infamy, is now known as one of Florida's most notorious killers. But what made his case so shocking, and why did it capture such widespread attention? Let's take a deeper look at the Wade Wilson case. It all began in early October of 2019. Christine Melton, a 45-year-old Cape Coral resident, was found strangled in her own home. Just days later, Diane Ruiz, 43, was reported missing. After a desperate search, her body was found in a secluded area. Wade Wilson, the man responsible for both deaths, showed no remorse. In fact, he boasted to authorities that he would do it again. Both women were brutally strangled. The details were horrifying. Wilson killed Melton in her bed and, after stealing her car, lured Ruiz in before repeatedly running her over with the vehicle. These acts of violence shocked the entire state, raising the question: what could drive someone to commit such heinous crime? Wade Wilson's trial was nothing short of disturbing. During his interrogation, Wilson showed little sign of remorse or regret. Despite his defense attorneys arguing that brain injuries contributed to his actions, the prosecution emphasized a history of drug abuse and calculated behavior. The jury was unanimous in their judgment, calling his actions cold and premeditated. Judge Nick Thompson stated that the murders were not only heinous, but calculated in nature, as Wilson had meticulously planned his attacks. Despite attempts to use his mental health as a mitigating factor, the court found that the aggravating circumstances far outweighed any possible explanation. But what was it about Wade Wilson's case that captured so much attention? Several factors made this case stand out. First, the sheer brutality of the crimes, strangling 2 women in the span of days, created immediate horror in the public's mind. The chilling nonchalance Wilson displayed only amplified this. He became infamous not just for his crimes, but for his attitude of complete disregard for human life. Second, the fact that Wilson shares his name with the comic book character Deadpool, a famous anti-hero, added an eerie layer to public perception. This coincidence led to numerous media outlets as well as social media discussions where people drew dark parallels between the violent anti-hero and a real-life villain. Third, Wilson's behavior in court was nothing short of shocking. He mocked the system, showed no remorse, and openly claimed he would kill again if given the chance. This type of celebrity criminal, someone seemingly reveling in their notoriety, fascinated and horrified the public.
He told detectives, "I've already done it once. I'll do it again."
In June 2024, after years of legal battles and shocking court moments, Wade Wilson was finally sentenced to death. The jury, after hearing the gruesome details of both murders, recommended the death penalty in a nearly unanimous vote. The judge agreed, finding that the aggravating factors of cruelty and premeditation far outweighed any mitigating circumstances. Wilson's sentencing was seen as a victory for justice, especially for the families of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz, who had endured years of pain and uncertainty. But the case has left a lasting mark on the community, serving as a stark reminder of the unpredictability of human violence.
Yeah, so that was a little short video from True Crime Summarized. And basically, he has become a TikTok quote-unquote celebrity, not an international celebrity. I would say a TikTok celebrity because he has groups of these fanatic women.
Like a cult, basically.
They're like a cult.
Like
you remember Charles Manson, and you remember like
Charlie had
Jeffrey
the same
Dahmer.
thing.
Like that, but with TikTok. We got so a TikTok version of that, and he's got
they all had
100,000 donated to him.
Yeah, not only that, he's had 100,000 in donations, and what's so interesting is we're seeing a different part of what the news is showing now because of the channel called Phone Calls from Prison. They have managed to get access, public FOIA record, just Freedom of Information Act. They have managed to get access to all of his jail calls.
And
all of his jail calls.
Yeah, he's currently talking to a woman named Ari who's pretending to be a lawyer from the Innocence Project that's going to represent him, and that she owns 3 Bugattis, 3, not 1, not 2.
She's a billionaire who owns 3 Bugattis, and all the celebrities want to date her.
That works for her. That works for a nonprofit. I believe it.
Yeah. So this is
she's not really that.
She's not really that. She's in her own delusional world. So
let me tell you guys something. Like okay. So what we have here is we have a bunch of lonely women that are. I mean, because he's a good-looking guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. He's not an ugly dude. You know what I mean? So they look at that. He kind of looks like one of those all-American kids with tattoos all over his face.
Well, and when he
went, and this just drives women crazy. Because they know they can't have him. And I think that's a big thing too, is the fact that they know that they can't have him, but they can have a relationship with him, but never have to deal with him. I don't know, because these types of things happen all the time, all over the country. These in his case doesn't even seem like it's as severe as a lot of them that are across that happen every single day. It's just the fact that, you know, he's of TikTok, it made him famous, and now he's getting all the attention. But these types of crimes happen every day, like
Yeah.
all over the place, the same
It,
shit or worse.
his crime, because his crime stood out because there was never such violence in a Cape Coral community. Cape Coral is one of the nicer, very nice parts of Florida. You know, Naples area is considered like one of the richest, you know, areas in Florida. So the nature of the crime stood out. Not only that,
He also
it
has a
went
bunch of other stuff around it. Like he has an escape attempt where he got caught. He got caught having a girl bring meth in for him. Like he just like has every little
it's
random thing you
endless.
can have go on in a case. He's
Those
doing it. They
tattoos
caught him.
he got in the county jail, those tattoos. So
Did he?
I yes. So
Did he
I want
really?
to ask. So
Face tattoos.
I want to ask
Ugh.
you, since you're on, I've spoke on it in past lives. What would happen to Wade Wilson if he entered? Because right now he's sentenced to die. He's sentenced to
Okay.
death. So he'll never see population, right? He'll be in his own wing with the death population, with the people that are sentenced to die. That's where he'll be.
Yeah.
So he won't intermingle with GP and the gangs and the major gangs on the yard and stuff like that, right? But
Yeah.
from a person just like me who did numerous amount of time on the yard, GP, been around these gangs, been around the movement, in and out, you know, from the underground society. That's what we like to call it in prison, you know, from the K2 to the phones to the tobacco to everything. Been in and out of the gang era and all the, you know, bad things in prison. What would happen to Wade Wilson if he got locked up in the county jail? Because this is what happened. He's not part of a sanctioned gang.
Yeah.
He's not part of any gang whatsoever. However, he decided to tattoo a swastika on the side of his face.
Okay. So if he was to hit general population in California, absolutely nothing would happen to Wade Wilson. He would end up he would walk the line. He's not
He has
not
a sex
there's
charge.
He
no
has a
pet.
sex charge.
Yeah.
Oh, does he? Well,
Forgot-
okay, that
yeah,
completely
forgot to
changes
mention
everything.
that. That's,
Yeah, so I thought it was just the murder, but if he
No.
has a sex charge,
yeah,
then
he does.
they're gonna lock him up instantly. He's gonna go
He's
into
also gay. So he has relationships that are recorded over the phone. We've had people come out like Joey from what was the name of the show?
Deadliest Catch. One of the
Deadliest
stars
Catch.
from
You remember the
Deadliest
older
Catch.
show, The Deadliest Catch?
yeah, the crab show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Joey came on and Joey said that you know, Wade worked for him and Wade was kissing boys in the front yard. Wade also had a full-blown relationship with another man on the street, to where he stabbed the guy who he was living with, and the guy liked it. They were in like a violent gay relationship. Also,
God,
It
people are
goes
some
deep with
weird
this
shit.
guy, Casper.
he has this guy named Joey. Joey's a whole nother character, unlocked. But
Joey's a
Joey,
woman now, actually. Did you
Joey
know that?
is apparently,
Joey became yes, Casper. It's an insane story. That's why people are following.
dude, this shit is the rabbit hole is never ending when it comes to Wade Wilson. Joey is this guy who we don't know if he's rich or if he's poor, but he takes care of people getting locked up.
And
You
he
know,
finds them. He calls people
he
in
finds
Canada
them.
and finds
He-
the bad boys, and he
Yeah.
hooks them up with money to talk to them.
and that's
Yeah.
that's the case with a lot of these people that you're gonna meet when it comes to Wade Wilson. They actually reached out to him. They used the jail as a Tinder, and they were like, you know, hey, I want to talk to you. From Jesse to Ari to Joey to the list is endless.
Well, people want what they can't have. That's a big thing.
That's
So they
big
want what they can't have, right? So the more that they glamorize this guy, the more that they know he's untouchable. Well, that's what they want. This guy is just obviously a master manipulator and has it all figured out. He's like the Andrew Tate of killers, right? So
That's
he
funny you say that, and you don't even really know the history behind him,
You got
because
that right.
you nailed it, brother. You nailed it. He is a master manipulator.
yeah, he's using other people to push his narrative out there. That's what he's doing. Like he's getting out there and people are telling him, hey man, you're all over the internet. So he just starts doing more shit and starts releasing more shit, getting other people to release stuff about him. And he's smart, obviously. He's a psychopath, but he's smart. He knows what he's doing. And you know, eventually this could affect the fact if he gets executed or not, probably. Because
yeah.
Well, yeah,
as you can see with
100%.
the Menendez brothers case right now, the only reason that it's getting any traction or was because of the Netflix docuseries. If those didn't come out, those shows to where, you know, the whole country got involved and got into it, then we wouldn't even be hearing about the Menendez brothers right now. So if you're getting that type of publicity, people are going to start looking more into your case, and then they're going to try to bring up points to try to exonerate you in one way, shape, or form. Probably not out of prison, but maybe out of death row.
Yeah. And he seems to think he stands a chance getting off of death row. He's claiming this innocent thing now. Even after multiple confessions, from confessions in the interrogation room to phone calls with his father, where he says that he ran her over till she looked like spaghetti. Um, yeah, it's bad. It is bad. So
So what makes
definitely.
somebody do something like that? I mean, like I said, there's people like that all over the country that are doing this shit every day. And to be honest with you, I mean, I would have to say that the dude is just born that way, a psychopath, like one of those kids that beat up and kill their dogs and animals. I mean, it's just I don't believe that when people act like that in a psychopathic type of way that it has anything to do with their upbringing or anything like that. I think it has to do with genetics, purely strictly genetics, and
Oh yeah,
kind of misfire in the brain,
it's
because normal people can control that. Normal people can control because everybody has intrusive thoughts. I mean, that's a fact. Everybody's going to have intrusive thoughts
right.
one point in their life, you know, but the normal person is able to control those thoughts, and he's obviously not one of those type of people. So he's just psychopath.